In Space Marine 2, classes offer a number of unique ways to play. You can go with a well-rounded option, or you could opt for something with very pronounced strengths at the cost of some notable trade-offs. The Sniper is the latter, and in this video, we'll showcase a max-level, max difficulty build that can easily run with any team comp and make a major impact. My name is Kodiak, this is Legacy Gaming, and today, we're dialing in our scope and taking aim in Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 with the Sniper. The Sniper excels at eliminating key targets, often before a fight even starts. In operations, being able to sway the odds in your team's favor before the action starts is a massive boon. On top of that, once a battle is underway, they can utilize their Camo Cloak ability for repositioning, misdirection, and simply just staying alive. However, their ultimate goal is to eliminate the opposition, and the Sniper's unique combination of range, power, and elusiveness can do just that. With this power comes a few trade-offs. First, while just starting out, the Sniper might have a slower start than other classes. Though we are covering a max level build here, it's important to know that your initial few hours may just feel a bit less impactful than other class choices, mostly due to some of their strongest perks being near the end of their class tree. The second trade-off is weapon variety. While they have very capable choices, they are few, with only 5 total firearms, 1 melee option, and 2 of their 4 primaries being pure extreme range tools. It's clear the Sniper is built around taking out enemies from afar. You can play a more close-range, assassin-focused variant, as they do have the combat knife and some excellent melee perks, but dealing with hordes once surrounded can become quite overwhelming on the highest difficulties. Right off the start, the Sniper comes with a 10% damage boost to headshot damage. This is the only passive damage boost for any class. Now, moving into perk choices. In the first column, Block Break is the choice. Having 25% of your range damage affect blocked or shielded enemies is incredibly valuable. Sometimes the most annoying enemies on the battlefield is unable to take damage for periods of time, and while not all of the damage is going through, you can still stun them out of their defense and put them into an execution state. In column 2, High Capacity is the most versatile perk. Vantage Point grants a nice damage increase if you're standing still for 2 seconds, but you're often moving so much that 2 seconds can feel like a lifetime. Of course, there are cases where Vantage Point becomes more viable, especially when softening up groups of enemies before combat ensues. Depending on your playstyle, either are solid options, and you really can't go wrong either way. When you get to column 3, the only choice is Lethal Efficiency, because this build focuses on the las fusil, and it's common to kill more than one enemy with a single shot. In fact, this perk makes the las fusil a relatively decent trash clearing weapon as well, because it makes shooting 2 or more scrubs cost nothing. The team perk choice is relatively straightforward. Squad Renewal grants 10% ability charge on a headshot kill, something that you and your teammates will be doing often. Being able to Camo Cloak to drop aggro, emerge to kill large swaths of enemies with a single shot, and scoring 1 or 2 headshots to refill your ability to full is build defining, especially when combining it with other perks. For your first gear perk, Renewal is the way to go for column 5. Having an additional 5% ability charge refill on headshot kill stacks with Squad Renewal and supercharges Camo Cloak. The two combine to allow you to enter and exit Camo Cloak at your leisure, but it hinges on your ability to activate Cloak to drop aggro, then quickly exit and get 1 to 2 headshots to refill again. The other 2 choices in this column just aren't as impactful. In column 6, your next gear perk, Targeted Shot, is invaluable. Since you'll be going into Cloak regularly, having a 75% damage boost to ranged attacks takes your offense to the next level. Going into Cloak gives you a reset of sorts and lets you take stock of the battlefield. Aggro is instantly dropped, and you can now survey the most dangerous target. A fully charged las fusil shot will deliver some heavy damage directly to their face, and even if you only put them into execution state, your next shot will most likely kill them, thus refunding 15% ability charge. Your final gear perk in column 7 has some excellent choices. Persistence keeps you more durable upon exiting Cloak thanks to 5 seconds of 20% damage mitigation. Lingering Concealment allows you to remain in Cloak for 2 seconds after performing an action that would break it, and this works very well for cloaking up and eliminating entire groups of majors before they become aware. Finally, Ambush is a solid choice for dealing with hordes of enemies, as it's only on a 30-second cooldown. For this build, we'll pick Persistence, but any of these are viable. In the last column are the signature perks, and it comes down to 2. Evasion instantly grants camo without spending a charge upon perfect dodge. It's an incredible perk, which works with the rest of your kit, especially targeted shot, on only a 15-second cooldown. The other option, Emergency Override, is another great perk in that it is a cheat death. Every 180 seconds, if you take enough damage to die, you instead become invulnerable and Camo is activated. This is a good choice to take if you're learning to play the sniper on harder difficulties, but as your skill improves, the clear choice is Evasion. With these perks, the sniper's true power for this particular build are fully unleashed at level 22. And now, it's time to talk about the weapon choice. The only real weapon choice is what primary to run, and for this specific build, we are going to run with the Las Fusil. For the sub-variant, we take the Gathalamor Crusade at the top left of the Relic tier. We chose this option because of its 8 additional capacity, which stacks with lethal efficiency. At a massive 14 damage rating, you sacrifice a small bit of damage for 8 additional shots. A worthy trade-off, as it's not uncommon to go through 2 minutes of core gameplay and never run out of ammo with this combo. For the perk tree, this is the route we run with. The first perk, Increased Capacity, does exactly what it says. The vast majority of your damage will be coming from the Las Fusil, and 24 rounds getting refunded by lethal efficiency is amazing. The second perk, Adamant Restoration, generates ammo from thin air. It's not uncommon to find yourself in a tight spot without Cloak. Gaining extra rounds under duress can get you back into the fight. The reason we took the bottom route is because we don't want Adamant Velocity. This perk speeds up charge time when below 30% health, and while both perks can greatly increase DPS, we don't want to rely on taking damage to do more damage. Plus, it can also throw off your rhythm. That being said, if you don't mind a riskier playstyle, the top 2 options are very strong for delivering raw DPS, but you lose out on the extra ammo and automatic ammo regeneration perks. Next, we'll take Amplification for our third perk. It widens the beam on Las Fusil, making it more likely to kill 2 scrubs with a single shot, perfect for lethal efficiency. For both the 4th and 5th perk, Headhunter all the way. Our build is designed around headshots and headshot kills. Headhunter helps to make it possible. We pick Fast Regeneration as our 6th perk because it's in the path of our 7th perk, another Headhunter. The benefit of the cooldown before armor return is great, but not something you really need to rely on. The goal is always more headshot damage. Instant Health is the automatic pickup for our 8th perk because we want to get to Perpetual Velocity for our final 9th perk. The health gain is nice, but ideally we stay out of trouble using Cloak. It's a nice addition, much like Fast Regeneration, but it's not build-defining. Perpetual Velocity, on the other hand, is the very first perk we skipped in the entire perk tree. That's only because we wanted the consistency of our charge speed, so we avoided Adamant Velocity. For max DPS, a top tree start is the way to go, but for consistency and ammo availability, we go bottom. For the bolt pistol, we keep it simple. Our variant of choice is the Ophelian Liberation Alpha, and we go entirely top tree except our final perk, Extended Magazine. It's a very well-rounded selection of perks that reward headshot damage, the sniper's bread and butter. Combat Knife is a bit more open. We picked the Ophelian Liberation Alpha due to it being the most defensive of the bunch. It's a fencing variant, which enables extra defense by providing a large parry window to help when you have no cloak and have to defend. You could easily pick any knife option. Blood of Vossas is a more well-rounded choice with solid damage and speed, while Ophelian Liberation Beta has a monster damage rating but can't parry. Each are worth considering depending on your playstyle. Combat Knife perks are a bit more open. For this build, we use this setup. We start on the top tree for Armored Strength because it's not uncommon to have max armor when coming out of Cloak. Combine that with 2 Perpetual Strength perks at selection 3 and 4, and you're already at 20% melee damage increase. We skipped over the second perk because it was simply mandatory within our path. Sharp Impact boosts the AoE radius of the left and right crusher, and that works well with the increased cleave potential of the Alpha variant. For our 5th perk, we picked Shoulder Bash. This changes your sprinting attack into a highly effective shoulder bash, which knocks down scrubs. It allows you to make holes in large swaths of trash mobs, and also makes it much easier to capitalize on counter shots after knocking a group down. Tyranid Slayer and Chaos Slayer to round out the build, and since the debuff of Reeling Blow isn't necessary, we take Tide of Battle. The last thing we need to go over is how to play the class. The Sniper is a high skill ceiling class that requires quick thinking on top of good aim. You have to be able to make split-second decisions while also managing Cloak. While skill-intensive, the overall concept is straightforward. The goal is to utilize Camo Cloak as much as possible so targeted shot is active. The damage boost makes a big difference, so enabling often is one of the core focuses of the build. When you break Cloak, you'll also draw the ire of mobs or enemies, causing them to ignore your allies. This gives your squad a bit of breathing room and can often allow them to heal or reload or get away safely. After a few headshots, you can go back into camo to instantly drop aggro. This creates a satisfying and effective back and forth loop. There will be some cases where it's hard to get enough headshot kills to refresh your ability, so when that happens, it's time to rely on your defense. Perfect dodge puts you right back into Cloak, shoulder bashing knocks down swaths of enemies to give you counter shot for armor, and parrying can open up executions. Ideally, you want to get back to camo when the going gets tough, but the sniper can hold their own in a pinch. One final note is to remember your grenades, especially Melt-A-Bomb. There's no more satisfying feeling than going deep behind enemy lines while cloaked and planting a Melta, then walking away as it explodes. With a focused gameplay style yet surprising versatility, the sniper is a force to be reckoned with. So there you have it, our day one build guide for the sniper class. Things are going to change after launch, but with hundreds of combined hours throughout the preview and early access review period, we are confident that this build will set you up for success. Our team has worked tirelessly to bring you day one builds of every class, so if you like our work and you want to support the channel, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, consider subscribing. My name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.